Hello, my name is Jacob Moles, and this is the next playthrough for our game. As you can see, we have a start menu for our game, where there is now instructions, where you can move your character with WASD. W is forward, A is turn left, S is backwards, D is turn right. The move of the camera is moving the mouse around. Then we have a button here to go back to the main menu. One thing we're still trying to figure out is why in here you can see the mouse, but in the main menu you cannot see the mouse. And when you press start, you come out here and you can see the world, load around, and also you can jump over stuff, spacebar. But we were able to figure out. I want to show you that yet. Figure out how to rotate the medallion. So now you can see there's a slight bob up and down, but then there's a slow rotation. So you can see the artwork on the medallions. Yet they can move, so you can see them do that. But Trenton, another team member, and I worked on the sound attenuation so that as it stands right here you can't hear anything, but if you move closer to the medallion, you can hear the music of the artist. Then as you walk further away, you no longer hear the music, but if you walk back, you can hear music. So the music as it stands acts as a marker. And speaking of markers, we're currently working on a particle effect that you can see where a medallion was in addition with the music, but that is still a work in progress. And we have gotten the sound attenuation working for each individual medallion with the artist that is represented on the medallion. Their music can be heard. And if you look at our HUD at the top, if you see the number 2, when I walk into the next medallion, you'll see it change. So there are 13 medallions altogether. Have you been redeemed? But I will come down here and show the recording studio. As I walked out in the streets of Laredo, here's a particle effect that I'm working on. There's no picture attached yet, so it's just blocky. But we can attach this to a medallion so it can act as a marker. But this is a work in progress. And just to remind myself and those who will see this video, there is another bug that, well, not bug, but just something we need to fix, is that while you can go in through the door, you can go out the wall. So this, I believe, is just a simple fix with the collision, because right now, like, you run into these and you can't walk through them. So we did have this working in the previous version, the first version, and so I just need to go back into settings and look at that. But I have plans for this building to add a post-processing box, to add an orangish light to represent the light of the day. An idea is to add swimmable water. Then I have received assets to place along the outside of the map, so you can't, like, right now you could jump off and fall off the map, but to keep the player on the map, we have assets to spread throughout the edge of the map to contain the player. Then just a few sizing issues with checking the terrain with the tracks and making the tracks a little smaller. Then Sean Smolin and other team members working on the buildings. It's had a few issues with taking someone else's work and improving upon it. So just dealing with issues of, okay, we think we're gonna... We think we're going to take this X amount of time, but then it takes Y amount of time, and then we ask why. And then it just... Some things just take longer than you think, and you gotta deal with it. And then if you're getting crunched with time, then you gotta dig down and take any extra time you can out of class that you would maybe done at other things, and just work on it some. We do have plans to add to the HUD up that you see above a compass that, as it stands, this is south. This is north, that's west, and this is east. What we have plans for is, as you turn, the letters N, S, W, and E will appear on your screen to signify what direction is what, to give you more bearing of where you are in the valley. So that is all 13 medallions. So that is it for the playthrough. And to show you a couple of the things, technical things that we've been working on. You see the sound cue right here. And go to edit, I think. No, it's right here. Come out here as well. Levels, music files. So all these are the sound things that you hear. This is just the wave, the actual sound file of it, but then to make a sound cue to place into the game, you make this into a sound cue. But these two spheres are the sound attenuation, so if you're standing outside here, you can't hear it. Once you enter the first sphere, you start barely hearing the music, and then as you reach the center, it comes to 100% sound. Then if you're standing within this inner sphere, no matter where you are in the inner sphere, it is 100% sound. And how we got the sound attenuation to do that is we created a sound attenuation. And all we had to do was just pick any of the sound. But okay, that's another thing. Going into the sound, we have a place to say, okay, we want a sound attenuation. So if we put it anywhere, the blueprint here, we'll call that. But then to also, as you walk away, you click them down, you come back, you still hear the music, we have the sound wave looping. So throughout the entire game, you can go and come back and hear the music, and then it outputs it to the speaker. But then we came to here, and this wasn't here before, but we said, okay, how can we get the sound attenuation to work? So we were thinking that maybe it was this override, but then didn't quite understand that, because as I placed each sound cue in the game at first, they'd all play at the same time, and it sounded like some creepy haunted house music, because they're all playing at the same time, at the same sound. So we're trying to make it so you just go to that one medallion to hear that music. So when we had to click this, but when I clicked on this for one of the sound cues, it broke the other 12. That I couldn't hear that. So sitting down in class, making most of our time, Trenton and I was thinking, trying to do stuff, troubleshooting, even stayed a little bit after class to get this done. Then we finally figured out, what does this attenuation setting do? Like, kind of like you just scanning across the keyboard, like, what does this button do? And you press it, and you say, okay, it does something different. So we just created a sound attenuation, and then called it here. And you can only need to, I thought maybe you'd have to do like 13 individual sound attenuations, but you can just call the same sound attenuation for each sound wave, and you'd say, okay, if you'd have more than one sound attenuation with like different fields and lengths and like volume and stuff, you'd have to like search, type in the sound attenuation to apply it here. But since we only have one so far, we just click on that and add it there. And now that we have gotten the sounds to work, we can now add ambient sounds to add more life to the map. So we can have a sound cue that's with attenuation that's spread across the entire map with bird sounds and just general nature sounds. And then over by the painting factory on the north side, this building right here, this building, we have like manufacturing noises and clanks and different things, and just get around the building there, so you can kind of hear that there. Then over by the recording studio, we can have a sound attenuation of just people having a music jam, or just going through notes and just practicing and different things. So really concentrating this semester on improving functionality here, there, the aspect of the sound cues for the medallions, but also just overall making better buildings, making a better accurate scaled map. As you can see, we used a map of the actual valley there, and through piecing together other photos, making that more accurate. So it's going well. We still have a whole lot more work to do, and thank you for watching.